Hello there, welcome to Disney Parks Addict, the channel that makes content about Disney parks around the world. Today, we will be making a tier list for all the current attractions in Epcot at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. If you're also addicted to Disney parks, please think about subscribing to this channel. It really helps to motivate me to making more videos. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the attraction closest to the entrance, Spaceship Earth. This opening day ride is the most iconic in the park, and I can easily say is my favorite in Epcot, and may even be in my top 5 Disney attractions of all time. The attraction tells the history of communication, with a focus on the development of cultures and the future of technologies, and features many different scenes and audio animatronics. Personally, I preferred the older Jeremy Irons narration compared to the newer Judi Dench version, but it still has kept that classic feel. I still remember the first time seeing the Disney golf ball and being amazed that they managed to put a ride inside it, and what a ride it is. It was announced at the recent D23 Expo that it will be renovated once again, and some of the later scenes will be updated and will include a new storyline. I am happy that Disney will continue to modernize this classic attraction. Hopefully, the updates will be completed for Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary in 2021. This attraction fully deserves to be put in the S tier. Continuing into Future World East, Mission Space is a centrifuge-based ride that simulates the training required to be a member of the space program. The ride was added in the park in October 2003, replacing Horizons. The first time I rode this attraction, it made me feel incredibly sick, and I had never had a problem with motion sickness before. With every repeat visit to Epcot, I always go into this ride thinking it won't be as bad, but I always end up with a headache or feeling sick. So, I decided in 2008 to never ride Mission Space ever again, and I have stuck to that promise. They did include the green team element in 2006, which includes no spinning and just small motions, but this just felt rather dull to me. For those reasons, I think Mission Space is a waste of space in the park, and I will be putting it into D tier. However, I am looking forward to the new Space 220 restaurant that will be added at the end of the year, and it may even convince me to break my 11-year promise. The other attraction in Future World East is Test Track, a high-speed giant slot car ride. It still remains the fastest Disney attraction at 64.9 miles an hour. It opened in 1999 and originally showcased the various tests that cars go through during the testing phase. It was refurbished in 2012 and added an element for the guests to design their own vehicles before riding the attraction, as well as many changes on the interior of the ride. Again, I do prefer the older version of this ride, but I can understand why they added the changes to make it a more unique experience for the guests. I would have put this as an S tier ride if it was still in its original design, but because of the changes, I'm going to demote it and put it into A tier. Moving over to Future World West, starting with Journey into Imagination with Figment, and what a mess. This ride has gone through 3 changes since it first opened in 1983, and for me, it has progressively got worse and worse. The original with the Dreamfinder was the far superior version of this attraction, and I hope the rumors of another renovation are true. At the moment, the ride is dull and even for kids can be pretty boring, even with the added Figment scenes. I will be putting this one into D tier, but I hope it will be higher after the renovation. Next to Journey into Imagination is the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, which replaced the classic Captain EO tribute, and before that the brilliant Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. The 3D show is composed of 3 animated shorts, and the problem I have with this attraction is that it's just a shadow of the 2 former attractions that was based in this pavilion. The short films are nice enough, it rarely has a queue, and is a good way to cool off from the heat, but it just feels like a temporary replacement until something else is added. Hopefully a new show or attraction will be added while Epcot is having its big overhaul over the next few years. It's not bad, so I won't be putting it into D tier, but it's hardly a must-see attraction in Epcot. Therefore, I will be putting it into C tier. Moving round Future World West, the Land Pavilion houses 2 attractions, with the first being Living with the Land. This boat attraction takes guests through a few show scenes with audio animatronics before entering a working greenhouse. I always enjoy this ride as it usually has a low wait time and is an enjoyable, educational 20-minute ride. It showcases a variety of different modern farming methods with lots on display. It's fun to look out for the many hidden Mickeys featured throughout the greenhouses, and it's great to know that all the fruit, vegetables and fish that are farmed here are used in the restaurants around the Walt Disney World resort. I'm going to put this ride into B tier. The other attraction in the Land Pavilion is Soaring Around the World, which is a hang glider simulator that flies over various locations around the world. It was added to Epcot in 2005 in its original iteration, Soaring over California, after the popularity of the attraction in Disney's California Adventure. The new international edition was added in 2016, and I will say I do prefer the original. With the new film, unless you are sitting in the middle row, the screens become a little warped and is very noticeable during some of the scenes and takes you out of the moment. If it kept the original film, I would put this into S tier, but with its current state, I will be placing it into A tier. The last current pavilion in Future World West is the Seas with Nemo and Friends. This was added in 2006 and replaced the Living Seas. It is an omni-mover ride featuring Nemo and friends in a real aquarium. I know some people do not like IP attractions within Epcot, but I think this is a great fit and uses an innovative special glass effect to project the animated characters into the real aquarium. The exit of this ride takes you into the sea base, a full working aquarium where you can find sharks, stingrays, manatees, dolphins, and a whole plethora of different aquatic life. It's not my favorite Disney attraction by any means, but with so much to see and do, I believe it deservedly belongs in the A tier. Another attraction based in the same pavilion is Turtle Talk with Crush, an interactive show starring Crush the sea turtle, who is also from the Finding Nemo franchise. It is a really popular show with the kids, and it consists of an improvisational, real-time conversation with the audience. Similar to the Monsters Inc. laugh floor in Magic Kingdom, the animated characters interact with the audience and is especially exciting for the kids. Sometimes it can be hilarious, but after repeat visits, you usually end up hearing the same jokes. With limited attractions for younger children, this is a great way to keep them entertained, and for that reason, I'll be putting it into B tier. Moving out of Future World and into World Showcase, starting with Mexico's attraction, Gran Fiesta Tour, starring the Three Caballeros. It was originally the El Rio del Tiempo, featuring scenes of Mexican culture, and it was updated in 2007 to include sections with Panchito, Jose, and of course Donald Duck. I love this dark boat ride due to its setting within the interior of the Mexican pavilion, the way it passes by the restaurant, and it has a very short wait time and usually is a walk-on. There have been rumors of a renovation to change it to a Coco attraction, which I'm all for, but they will need to add extra queue lines to accommodate the extra guest traffic. For me, this is an A tier attraction, and I look forward to any future changes. Going around World Showcase, next to Mexico, is the Norway Pavilion, which houses the boat ride Frozen Ever After. Of course, before Frozen Ever After was the cult classic Malstrom, which showcased Norway and Viking culture, and even had one section of the boat hanging off a ledge which could be seen from the exterior of the ride. In 2016, it was changed to Frozen Ever After with all the popular characters and songs. I can understand why Disney made the change to offer something more for the younger guests, but the nostalgia of Malstrom makes me wish it had stayed the same. With the change, it now has long wait times, and a fast pass is a must. For those reasons, I will only be putting it into B tier. World Showcase also has two 360 Circle Vision theaters, one in the Canada Pavilion, which has currently stopped showing the film Oh Canada, while they get ready for a new offering, Canada Far and Wide. The other theater is in the China Pavilion, and they are currently showing Reflections of China, which started its run in 2003. Having lived in China for 9 years, I've got to see some of the beautiful scenery and learned a lot about the history which is shown within the movie. But as China has been and is rapidly developing, the movie is now outdated. As it is a movie and not a full-blown attraction or ride, I will be putting it into the C tier. But similar to Canada, the film Reflections of China will be replaced by an updated offering, Wondrous China, in the coming months. So I look forward to seeing how the new film will show the modern China that I have become accustomed to. Another attraction in World Showcase is in the host pavilion, the American Adventure, a stage show taking guests on a trip through American history using 35 audio animatronics, including Benjamin Franklin and Mark Twain. It is a great show, and I encourage everyone to watch it at least once, but as it's a 29-minute show, and if you've had a long day and are a little tired, it can be hard to stay awake in the comfortable seats and the cool AC, which may be seen as a good thing to some. I doubt I will rewatch the show unless I'm in a great need of a nap. For this reason, I will be putting it into C tier. The last attraction I will be looking at is in the France Pavilion, and that is Impressions de France. This 18-minute panoramic movie which visits many of France's cities and historical structures. There is a reason why the film hasn't changed or been updated since the opening day of Epcot, and holds the world record for longest running daily screening of a film in the same theater due to its pure quality. I wonder how many people have been persuaded to visit France after watching this delightful movie. For me, this is the best movie attraction in the park and deserves to be in the B tier. So there we have it, all 14 current attractions in Epcot, but there are lots more coming in the future. At this year's D23, they announced a few new attractions and updates coming in the following years. I will put a link to my video talking about all these changes in the description box below, and if you want to make your own Epcot attractions tier list, I will also put a link down below. I look forward to trying out all the new attractions in the coming years and adding them to this tier list. What Disney Park attractions tier list would you like to see next? Please comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you're a Disney Parks addict like myself, then consider subscribing to this channel for more videos about Disney Parks around the world. Thanks for watching.
We'll be right back.